Hi fam, I am Chef Leah Delight DiBernardo. Welcome to At the Table, our new weekly podcast where we invite thought-provoking guests to gather around the table to talk about good food, community, and everything in between. My pup Remy and I are happy you're here. Hi, and we're at the table. I'm Chef Leah Delight, and I love being at the table, and I get to be back here with my beautiful daughter, Gigi. And we left off last time talking a lot about coffee, so much about coffee. And I feel like we learned so much. But hello, G, welcome back.
Hi. We also have Remy in the studio for anyone listening, little poodle walking around.
Well, she's not really little. She's a standard poodle. She's a service dog that works with me. And she's very sweet and what else?
And she's very rustly. She's making lots of little noises.
Yeah, you'll hear that. Just know it's the poodle.
That's all.
And not us. G, welcome back. Thank you for being here.
Hi.
Hi. She's waving her hands. I'm like, you have to talk words at the microphone too, kid.
My wave will echo through the microphone.
That's right. So I geeked out. I listened to the last episode that we recorded together. And I took so many notes, and those notes were around everything that we unpacked with specialty coffee. And we talked about roasts and roasters, but what we didn't get to, and I want to kickstart right now for everybody listening, and I'm sure you're just as interested as I am. Okay, G. Just dark roast, medium roast, light roast, strawberry. Like what? What does that mean?
Okay. Dark roast is coffee that's been cooked for a long time, right? And you sort of kill a lot of the really beautiful flavors and nuances, and you lose the opportunity to really taste the terroir or taste the process when you cook it for that long.
It's like it's baking. It makes so much sense. If you over roast something, it's going to be dry, right? And you lose the value of those sugars and moisture.
I don't want to say that dark roasted coffee doesn't have its place.
Okay.
So if you enjoy it, and that's beautiful because it tastes dark and smoked for the most part. Or if you really enjoy that Italian roast, then that's stunning. But if we're looking to really expose and experience the notes of the coffee themselves, of that origin, variety, and so on, you really don't want a darker roast.
That makes more sense to me. So then the analogy I just gave with over roasting or over baking really isn't quite accurate. What you're saying is you can just take that roasting of the bean right to that edge, that really dark, smoky edge, and that's maybe just not for everyone.
Yes. Or if you want to experience the roast, or if you want to experience the coffee more than you want to experience a dark roast, you kind of get one or the other. You either get your origin, your terroir in that flavor profile, or you get a dark roast.
Is that okay? So is that what they mean when they say strawberry? Like you're literally getting? Okay, she's very excited. Go, strawberry.
You see tasting notes on bags, and I think my favorite question ever is, why are they putting cherries in the coffee? And they're not, for the most part, unless.
Well, I said that with watermelon last time.
Yeah, but tasting notes on the bag. Oh, I'm not going to talk about this, but the flavor, the science of taste is a whole other podcast. You should have a flavor scientist on.
Okay, now I'm going to write that down.
I think that would be fun. Flavor is so fascinating. But when a roaster is tasting the coffees and cupping it and understanding what it tastes like, they're going to give you notes on the bag for reference. Honeysuckle, tea.
Like a wine. Beautiful. That's so cool.
Right? So that's kind of the about the bag.
All right. So when they see that, no, these aren't additives added.
No. And that's, I think, important to know. It's not an additive. It's not a chemical. It's just the flavors that we're getting off the coffee.
That's so cool. I love that because at Eat, we have Cafe de Americas, and there are chocolate.
Roasted by Roast House.
Yeah, roasted by Roast House. And Aaron Jordan does such a great job. But man, that chocolate in the Cafe de Americas it's like pudding. Didn't Deb used to...
Can I defend...
We'll come back on
I
Deb.
need to get on my soapbox.
Oh, okay.
Can I defend blends for a second?
Sure.
Like, we are in this really beautiful place where we're highlighting single origin coffees. You see that as a buzzword a lot, and it's valid. right?
Okay, what is
A single origin coffee.
single origin?
So
Copy
you've
that.
got a washed Colombian, the farm it's coming from and all that fun stuff, right? And that's great. And a lot of people are like, walk into a coffee shop and they're like, what's your single origin on espresso right now? Okay, and what about the blend? The roasters put in time, energy, and so much art into crafting and putting together different coffees from different origins to make a coffee that tastes fantastic. You're putting together 2 different origins. It's difficult work, and there's a lot, just like so much thought that goes into that. And we're just gonna wash over the blends?
Okay.
It pisses me off.
Okay. This is something really good to know about you. So I will be very conscientious from here on out.
Look,
Speaking about
I'm
origins.
a girl who enjoys.
Are you just a girl?
I am just a girl who really enjoys a very fruity, very funky coffee for my short, tiny little iced Americanos. Okay. But if a roaster put the time and energy, I think Roast House is a great example of that. I'm not trying to like promo Roast House right now, but their blends are so fantastic.
Blends are good.
Or Cool Roast Curves Noah, who for our cafe, Hello, You're Welcome up in Pasadena, he often makes us a specialty blend for the shop to go under milk. So he takes the time to understand the beans that he has and how they work together to make an ingredient that will go well under milk. Right?
So you're
That's just an example.
Okay, so that is really, really great for our listeners. So you're talking about taking different origins and bringing them together.
I'm saying don't discriminate against a blend.
Okay. Don't discriminate against a blend.
If you walk into a coffee shop and your barista's like, yeah, we have a blend on Hopper 1 right now, don't choo-choo her. Choo-choo. Don't yuck the blend.
Okay. So maybe be a little bit more respectful to your barista. Is that
that's a whole other story. Yes, be respectful to your baristas, but I just think that we don't need to hate on blends as much as we have been. That's my coffee shop hot take these days.
Okay. That's a good take to have. And then I want to circle back because I had just mentioned Deb and just for our listeners, Deborah is the founder of Roast House Coffee that Aaron Jordan, who is the owner and one of the roasters at Roast House Coffee out of Spokane. So we know who we're talking about because we do refer to Roast House often.
Well, and we do because that is my auntie and my mom's sister, and she's the reason why I'm in coffee. And the reason why we know what we know about coffee is because of that and her work in coffee, which is very thorough.
Very thorough.
Yeah.
Decades.
We can really thank organic coffee coming to the U.S. and a lot of specialty coffee coming to the U.S. We can attribute that to
Deborah. And she put an application into the Good Food Awards out of San Francisco. Like what
2012?
So long ago. So the Good Food Awards out of San Francisco have so much respect. That was born out of the Slow Food movement. Slow Food is a worldwide nonprofit. Just quick, good, clean, and fair food, right? And good food came from really appreciating wonderful jams, coffees, mustards, you name it, foodstuffs. And Roast House put their name in the hat. They were one of the first roasters to win a Good Food Award. That was Deborah. And that was just because there's dignity in honoring, right? Things that are made well. So Roast House, right on. Here, cheers to that. Chin chin.
Woohoo. Can't get over it.
Sip of that. And some good coffee.
Okay, so what?
Oh, so what? So where were we? You went off on this wild tangent about single origins and respecting the barista. Since you brought up baristas, can we just have a little conversation about the Portlandia-ness of all these skits that I've been seeing around baristas and what your thoughts are?
Can we have a conversation about baristas? I've been a barista for 8 years. We can talk about baristas.
You're very barista-y. You guys have attitudes.
What's the bit? And you know what? I stand with this. If your barista doesn't have at least like 2 gnarly tattoos or like a nose piercing or something, walk out of the coffee shop.
Oh, get out of here. She's only saying that because I'm like, you come home with one more tattoo, kid.
She's going to scrub them off of me. Baby bangs, that's a great sign.
Oh, okay.
A fucky band tee. This is what you're looking for.
These are the things we're looking for, apparently, y'all.
No, but Coffee. It's a thing. It's exploding in our culture right now. We're really getting into this world where we want to go into a cool coffee shop and sit and work on our computers and drink coffee.
But it's a third place.
It is.
Explain third place.
Wait, I love the sociologist. I'm gonna be an intellectual hag again.
Oh my gosh, she's totally being Amy Poehler right now and getting on her computer in the middle of a podcast to look something up.
Just a name. Third place book.
Okay. Third place for me is outside of my home and outside of work, a place that I like to go to write, to read, to chill out.
In sociology, the third place refers to the social surroundings that are separate from the two usual social environments of the home and the workplace.
That's what I just said, kid.
And this idea was developed by Ray Oldenburg, who wrote a really, really great book, The Great Good Place. I highly recommend it.
The Great Good Place. Yes. I love that name so much.
I should get you.
Ray, I'm going to steal that from you.
So, yeah, I mean, going somewhere with people where with yourself to not be at work or at home. I think the term third place has also been used as a marketing tactic quite a bit because
that's interesting.
It's now been picked up. I mean, the Great Good Place was published almost 20 years ago now, so it's not a new term. It's not a new term in sociology, and we have it. We know what it is for the most part.
Yeah.
And you kind of see it running around like, this is a third place, but I actually don't want to spend my time there. Right? I think third places are created by the community, and that's what Ray or Dr. Oldenburg writes about.
But coffee shops are, I mean, we're seeing what I think is like an overabundance now of coffee shops. But then if I look back to my days in Seattle and living on Capitol Hill, and there was always a coffee shop with a couch. We all had our favorite spots and books. And that was a place that we went to study and hang out and be together. I mean, I could tell you exactly where I was on 9/11.
Yeah.
Like I was at Cafe Tropical on Sunset having a coffee.
Which is somewhere I go with friends to meet up or read to this day.
Love that.
So third places, I think, in my personal opinion, as a 20-some-year-old living in LA, have to be created by the community for the community. It can't really be a major corporation proposing a space. Even sometimes when shops that I've loved have exploded, I get a little like, it gets to feel a little disconnected.
Sure. So we're looking for that connection, and coffee brings that connection. It bridges such a gap.
Like one thing I've always loved before I worked at Play Coffee in Orange, I'd go to the Fullerton location and I'd run into Leon like 9 out of 10 times I was there. And he'd ask me about school and all that stuff. And it's having the connection with your baristas, with your bartender. Being a regular somewhere is such like a power in the day and age of digital communication.
It's conviviality, y'all. It's all about
at the table.
At the table. We're just fully circled back.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Don't try to do Valley Girl with me because I'm the original Valley Girl.
I know. That's where I get it from. I'm just simply...
You're a generation with this whole... Oh my God. How are you?
It's because y'all raised us.
Okay. All right. So anyway, we digress by being Valley Girls. But, you know, I did go to high school for a hot minute.
I want to talk about getting to know your baristas.
Oh my gosh. You're so pushy. I was just talking about high school. I was having a moment. Okay, let's actually continue the conversation about baristas. Go.
I think we were talking about third places and on and so forth. Take a shot of espresso every time we say third place. You'll be really hyper.
You're going to make me cough laugh. Stop it.
Stop it. Getting to know your baristas is really cool. I think it's the same thing with getting to know your bartenders or even like whoever's checking you out at
But it was just what you were saying. It's so nice to go to a place where people know you, right? Yeah. There's this really wonderful relationship with baristas and us guests that come in. So
I love my people. I mean, I know I don't mean this to sound creepy, but I know your kids. I know your dog's name. I know where you are in school and whether or not you just took finals. And like, that's so cool that I get to know you in that way and that I get to be a part of your day-to-day life. Like whether or not you're a regular who comes in every morning for coffee before work, or if you're a student who comes in like a couple times a week to study, or what your relationship to your coffee shop is. Like, I care about you. Right? Like I know who you are. This sounds so creepy.
No, but that's the beauty about Third Place, coffee shops, neighbor community, and being these smaller family-owned or friend-owned establishments, right? Because, I can say that right now. At Eat Marketplace, I knew kids when they were babies, and now they're coming in as 15-year-olds,
15.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And some of them are now applying for jobs.
Or even...
And there's so much beauty in that.
I was 8 when we opened the first location. So I've grown up and know people, and people walk in, they're like, I know you. And I'm like, that's really weird. How do you know me? But it's cool that we have this community of people around us, because we're not individuals. We are a community of people, whether you live in LA or if you live in Temecula or wherever you are. There's a community of people around you who actually probably do care about you at least a little bit.
And I think your baristas really do care about you, because they're taking the time. This is what we're talking about.
Unless you're rude.
There's none of our listeners are rude. We want to have care for each other. In the world of service and hospitality, I will say sometimes we need to stop and feel our faces, whether we're a guest or we're in service, where you're grounding yourself to understand how you're behaving with one another, right?
Or have understanding that the face across from you might have just experienced a really stinky face.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
And it does. It happens. It's true. It's real. But okay.
Can I give a anecdote? So yeah.
Okay. And then I really want to talk about menus, because some of us struggle when we're ordering at coffee shops.
I just want, can I tell my story?
Oh my gosh. Go ahead.
Well, now I'm distracted. I think my example is, I think not even a couple weeks ago, last week, I was opening up the cafe. We had someone call out.
So you were opening up Hello, You're Welcome in Pasadena. Okay.
And someone had called out, which happens. And I went in to open, and we open at 7:30. There's a big argument, I feel. Or not a big argument. Maybe I just saw too many TikTok videos in one sitting. But about coffee shops opening at 7:30 or 8. And you're not a real coffee shop if you open later than 7. Whatever. Who cares? But a young person was walking past me and wanted to come in. And it was about 7:10. And they asked me, they were like, when are you opening? And I said 7:30. And they go, you should be opening earlier. That's ridiculous. I can't believe. And she cursed at me. I can't believe you're opening at 7:30. I need coffee now. And then I didn't have to, but I carried that with me through the rest of my opening. I just felt so icky. I felt so bad for their dog that had to be with them. But
you felt bad for the dog.
But then I kind of talked it out with one of my regulars, came in, Nicole, and I just kind of complained to her for a second. And I was like, I can't believe that. Like, that was so nasty. And I was able to shake it off because of her. But there had been times, like in all of my years in service and working with people, that someone will say something really nasty to you, and then someone else will think you're being rude to them. But really, I just had a weird morning.
Well, the thing is, and we might as well have a quick conversation around this. We all have experiences in our life, in our moments, in our days, that are moments that we carry. And as you get older, I can speak to, being in my late 50s, and you just hit a moment in your life where you're like, you know what, I just don't care anymore. I'm not going to carry that. I'm just not interested. That is too much weight, right? And I do understand, being younger and in your 20s and working in service, you are more sensitive to that, right? And then I'm not trying to put that on you. Did I do that? Because that's not what I'm trying to do. I just really want to have a share right now that, you can be in your car and be pissed off that someone didn't put on their blinker. That's fair. Have that moment by yourself in the car and curse. But when you're going into, any business, we need to be kinder to one another, absolutely, and provide the space to understand that you don't know what that person just went through, because we all have had those have had those moments, and we're not going to take the time to unpack. Like, listen, this just happened to me. Can you please be kinder? So, yeah, I have that saying: feel your face, man. Just sometimes stop and feel like what are you looking like right now?
And look. There are rude I will be the first to say it. There are
some
out there.
Bitchy baristas.
Yeah. All across the world. But also, I think being a little bit more understanding, because there is a stereotype in coffee in third wave shops and the cooler shops that the baristas are just writing you off. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're having a bad day.
Yeah, maybe they're just too cool.
Guys, empathy.
All right, I'm done with this conversation. We're moving on, little girl. I am really sometimes, even with what I do in food and the knowledge I have about coffee, I love going to new places, y'all. I search out coffee shops, new smaller restaurants. It's my jam. And I don't always get the menu when I walk in, G. Give me a second here.
Oh, no, I'm
all these different milks to all these different flavored lattes to then all the different cold drinks. And then, wait a minute, then you have a pour over. And then what's the easiest way when you come into a shop to order or to ask questions without feeling like you're stupid?
Yes. Beautiful question.
Oh, thank you.
I love it. Because admittedly, one of my least favorite questions is, what do you drink? You want to know? I've had 6 shots of espresso today dialing in. I drink drip or I drink an iced Americano. And I know you're asking me about our vanilla latte. And that's so valid because our vanilla latte is fantastic. However, I think there's a better way we can all approach the menus at coffee shops. I think there's a way that will be easier on all of us because this is famously a question that every barista hates. Your server might. You know what I mean? Like, what's your favorite thing? What do you order? I brought a chicken Caesar salad from home. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's in my cup.
Yeah. So it's instead of what do you drink, I think a great question to ask is framing it from your perspective. Like, hey, I like sweet lattes.
Okay.
Know yourself. What do you like? Hey, I like.
Or what are you in the mood for,
what
right?
Are you in the mood for? So you asked about a menu, a big menu with lots of stuff on it. I would always recommend if you see seasonal, if you see summer, anything like that, look at what they've crafted. We can dissect that a little bit more. If you don't see that, look for weird words, look for specialty drinks. I go to it because it was one of the last shops I worked at, but Play Coffee up in OC has the volcano latte on the menu.
Ooh, I would automatically think spicy.
And it's smoked, right? They've got a smoked salt in it. But I would say, like, if you are going to a coffee shop to really experience who they are, you can always ask the barista. Don't be afraid of asking the barista, even if you think the question's dumb or we just talked about an annoying question. Like, it's still fair to ask, right? But I would say, what are some questions that are maybe a little bit more approachable or that we prefer to hear a little bit more?
Sure. Well, what are those? Because yes. I authentically I feel that people in service really they like to be asked a fair question. They want to be helpful.
Yes. And to me, those are more along the lines of telling me more of what you're into, what you're in the mood for, or ask me to walk you through our menu. I'd be more than happy to do that. I joke about asking your barista what their favorite thing is because most of us are drinking black coffee. So we always think we poo-poo that maybe a little bit.
Okay, so what I'm learning is when I go into a specialty coffee shop and I do have questions to be honest with those, like, hey, I'm really in the mood for something a little sweeter. And I think like those whole TikTok videos are hysterical with the big macho guys that walk into a coffee shop and they whisper, hey, I really want a vanilla, extra sweet, extra caramel, but I'm just going to order a black coffee. Okay, ready? Hi, I'd like a black coffee, but really you want something really sweet and decadent. Like, that's fair.
And be honest or say like, hey, I don't like things super sweet. I want to try something new. What can you do for me? Like what can you do for me? But like, what do you think? What's on the menu that you would recommend? And wait, I have something on the tip of my tongue. I mean, explore the menu. Like seriously, if you want to try something new, say, I like these things. I want to try something new and go in that direction. There was something else that I really wanted to say.
Well, while you're thinking about that, I want to ask you a question. Go ahead.
If you get corrected, take it on the chin. Because a lot of shops, I'm going to use the caramel macchiato as an example. We see in specialty coffee that a lot of shops are going back towards traditional drink making and recipes. And if you see a macchiato on a menu in a specialty coffee shop, it is absolutely 9.5 times out of 10 a shot of espresso with a dollop of foam on it. If you come in and order a caramel macchiato, you're not going to get a caramel latte. No, it's not even a drink. It's not a thing. Okay. And we're all sick of hearing it.
But American version of it is, I mean, really, like if you come in to eat and you say, hey, I want a caramel macchiato, we're going to be like, okay, you mean you would like a latte with caramel in it.
So if you get one of those corrections, it's
take it on the chin.
Likely just the barista trying to absolutely understand what you want, so you walk out the happiest you can be.
Absolutely, and don't take it as an insult.
Yeah, don't take it as an insult. And if you sip your drink and it's not sweet enough, or if it's too sweet, or if it was meant to be hot or meant to be iced, have a sweet, gentle conversation with your barista, because they absolutely want you walking out of their shop happy.
We do. All of us do. Even in the world of service, we just want to hear from you that, hey, this just doesn't taste right. This isn't hot enough. And
I thought I was going to like this and I really didn't. Please let me remake the drink for you. I want
So there we go.
To enjoy.
We do. We want you to fully enjoy, because that's why we do what we do. Yeah. We're in hospitality and service for a reason. It is service above self, really.
And if they're being stinky, then they're being stinky.
I have a question. Cold foam. It's kind of along the lines of what we're talking about, but what is cold foam?
It's basically like whipped cream light, I think you could say.
I see coconut cold foam. It
is fluffy milk, right? Like it's a creamy topping.
And you could make it dairy, non-dairy, right? And
yes, that's where you get coconut into play, but I think maybe you're seeing less non-dairy options out in the world because there's less heavy creams and such that are suitable to make different foam.
And different diet trends too. Yeah. People who don't.
But also, like a coconut cold foam is going to taste a lot different than a heavy cream one is. And if you're looking for that more neutral flavor, you're not going to get that from coconut.
Gotcha. So your cold foam flavor really does go with your bean. Am I saying that right? Your bean, your drink, the flavor profile that you're trying to put on the menu for the guest.
It's really interesting.
That came out very choppy. You tried to put menu guess what? Ooh, flavor.
Well, we're actually seeing. Not every shop is going to offer a cream top or a cold foam. And that's also valid. We don't offer it at Hello.
Okay.
Right.
But we know what cold foam is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think it's kind of a trend.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, so Maru is one of the major shops in LA that kind of pioneered it. We were one of the first shops to offer it on a larger scale. They just discontinued it. They took it off their menu, I think.
I'm going to be honest here. I actually do want to talk about coffee trends for a minute, because you're saying that that's a trend, but it's like you try to tell me that you're going to take my whipped cream off of my hot chocolate. That's not a trend.
We don't offer whipped cream. We don't.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying I don't think things like that are a trend. I think something like a cold foam is kind of in the place of a whipped cream or a cream on top of stuff. And so you're saying, oh, that's just a trend and we're going to take it away because this one coffee shop took it away?
I'm not saying because they took it away, but what about shops that never offered it?
Well, that's fair too. So then, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't think it's a standard ingredient, or not yet at least.
All right. So talking about trends, matcha.
Wait, I'm sorry. And also, who gets to set the trend? Do we all have to do it because someone started it?
That's what I was just saying.
Yeah.
I was literally just saying that. You know, if you take the whipped cream off of my hot chocolate, like that's
equivalent in restaurants and bars.
We have these. Well, it's because it was like those big hurricane drinks, right? With the umbrellas, right? That's a trend. There are all these trends in coffee. So let's keep talking about trends in coffee. So matcha has exploded. That's really not a trend, or is it becoming a trend?
I don't think it's a trend. It's an ingredient.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. So share.
I'm not the expert on matcha, but I can tell you that it's clearly boomed in the States.
All right. So
recently.
Let me be a little bit more articulate with what I mean with matcha. I've seen there's a lot of information about matcha right now and not being available.
Yes.
And I thought for a minute, wow, is matcha a trend? And I just want the listeners to know that I first tasted matcha and I spit it out. I'm like, this is disgusting. It tasted like the ocean, sea, weird. Like I was so confused. And then Gigi tasted me out on matcha and it completely changed my mind. And I've never tasted anything like this beautiful smoky, a little grassy green tea, like gorgeous, right? So I get it now. And now I absolutely understand that matcha is a lot like coffees and teas. You're going to get different flavor profiles. I did not know that.
Yes. And I won't go into the nitty-gritty of matcha picking and processing, but I would like to, I guess, remind us that it's originally a leaf, right? So it's grows from the ground. And
it's a tea,
pick it,
right?
It's a tea, but people pick it and then it has to be processed. So you take the the leaf off the stem. You have to take the veins out, and it's a pretty arduous process. And matcha is only right now grown in Japan. So Japan's very small, and there is a good deal of farming land, but not like the most.
Is this why we were saying that we're out of matcha? Because
I'm getting there. Hold on just one second.
I have to stop talking.
No, just let me finish this thought.
All right.
Or this idea.
Hey, finish this thought. Go.
Oh,
finish it.
Gosh.
That's what you get when you put mother and daughter together. Okay. We had a moment of silence because I interrupted you. Japan is really small.
Japan's really small. And also, something that I think I'm seeing on the end of coffee tea that I'm on is that a lot of our suppliers for matcha, I'm going to call out Kettle specifically, Kettl. They're based in excuse my mispronunciation if I have it, Fukuoka and Brooklyn. I really messed up Brooklyn.
It comes from Fukuoka,
but they're based in those two locations. Anyways, one thing I'm seeing on this end of matcha is that a lot of our suppliers are working really hard to keep ethical farming practices and direct trade in place so that the farmers that they're buying from don't get totally screwed over like what happened kind of originally in coffee farming.
Okay.
And what we're kind of trying to unravel. So instead of getting to the point where we're all wrapped up in these kind of unethical labor practices, we're keeping with the ethical practices. So they're not trying to rush harvests. They're not forcing the tencha to grow. They're not doing any of that nasty stuff. Instead, they're letting the farm cycle. They're letting the farmers, take their time and not pushing harvest. So we have this huge demand now in the States for matcha because it has boomed so significantly and every shop carries it that we just don't want to. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
The thing is that we don't have an endless supply of everything, y'all.
Yeah.
They don't have an endless supply of chickens, of corn, of chocolate, of matcha. And when we have a huge demand, kind of like we did on quinoa, right? Like quinoa out of Peru, and then it becomes unaffordable for the locals. It's the same thing with matcha. And we want to bring attention to that. But matcha's beautiful. I don't think it's a trending drink, and I'm so glad that we got to talk about that. Now I want to talk about another trend in coffee, and I love this. And this is something that we did at Eat 3 years ago, and I see is popping up everywhere now is early morning DJs and coffee.
Yes.
Is this something you're going to do?
Yes, we're working on that. We're working on also doing a nighttime event because why not?
But I love the idea of 7, 8 o'clock in the morning DJ coffee parties.
Yes. I think it's just what we were talking about earlier about wanting a third space is that people like their coffee shops and they want to do things there. Look, I'm 23. I go out at night. That's my prerogative. But I've heard from a lot of friends that they want to go out Saturday morning and party and dance and have fun in that sense. And I think that people want to go to their coffee shops to enjoy that space. Hell yeah.
That's awesome. You're kind of like a Gertrude Stein of your generation. Well, I know you so much better than our listeners do, but what I've been hearing from you is cultivating this space where people can come and work. And if you really can't afford a coffee, I've heard you say this, I want you to still come into my space and work anyway and be around people that you get to meet, right?
My goal, my very personal goal in the world of coffee and where I want to go with it, I think this is outside of the conversation we were having in Trends, but I want to create a space that centers the community. And for me, that's a lot of artists in our area. And creating a space where they can display their art, they can work on it, where musicians and DJs can come and perform and where people can come in to be with one another, whether or not you make a purchase. I'd like for us to kind of have a model where you don't necessarily have to have that pressure on you. If you don't have it that week, but you need a place to be that's outside of your apartment, then come to our home. So that's my goal in coffee, is to kind of push us into this place where we're more accessible, and that it's not only a coffee shop, but it's also a museum and a bar and a live music venue, kind of all wrapped up in one, and kind of elaborate on what the third space is and make it like a true community space.
Well, there is a reason why it's called a coffee house. You know, it's interesting. I had asked you, and you just made a statement, you know, we're going away from trends, but yet I had asked you a while ago, where do we see trends going? And we're talking about trends in coffee, but yet you just told us where trends in coffee are going. So where trends in coffee and trends in coffee houses are going, and or maybe not going, but you feel it should be going, is becoming more of a community driven, but a welcoming.
I was going to say, I feel like maybe that is where the trend is going, because my friends in coffee, they're all working on creating something, whether that be a cart that they do, you know, they pop around and do pop-ups at other friends' shops. We're seeing a lot more people inviting friends in to take over their bars.
Oh, I love
so there's
that.
almost less of a stinkiness, I feel like, around sharing our spaces.
It's a sharing of cultures too, and heritage. And that's something that around the table we have discussed since you were a little girl. That's where all these conversations have taken place, and where you've learned so much, and where you have so much of your value.
Well, it's beautiful because we all have so many different backgrounds. You have Mendoza Coffee out in Palm Springs doing a pop-up at Mojave Flea. You've got, I'm trying to think, Yala Coffee up in the valley, and that's entirely kind of Persian backgrounds in coffee. And they're constructing these drinks, and they're constructing out these menus based on their backgrounds. Like we have all the way from like a passion fruit yuzu tonic, which was really inspired by Helen, our baker, who's predominantly Korean and has just a love for yuzu. And then me, I was like, I love sumac. How do we inject it into more? And that comes from our Moroccan background of then making
sumac the spice,
an orange sumac latte. And it works. I was so shocked that it works.
And it all comes together. It's no different than Raphael Montague Coffee popping up at Eat with Ray. And I think these shared experiences in it, you know, are really beautiful. It's like me trying my best to force my donuts on Abode, right?
Yeah.
And Zahari, right?
Yeah,
because it's so important for me to pronounce her name right. Zahari is the founder of Abode Coffee in Wildemar, right? And Zahari worked for Eat when she was younger, and it's so wonderful that we have these shared, united experiences with one another, and that is what coffee is all about. It's what coffee houses are about, and I feel very privileged to have the relationship we have and be able to have such a really, I'm trying to think the word right now,
tight
conversation.
Collaborative?
Well, just the conversation that we're able to always have with each other. And thank you for being here and teaching me.
Was that 45 minutes?
Thank you.
I'm like, I have more to say.
Do you have more to say? Well, I'll tell you what, why don't you wrap it up for our listeners?
Wrap it up. That's the hardest part. I would say
it's always hard to say goodbye.
I mean, just explore, try something new, talk to your barista, ask them about their day, and put your phone down when you order. I swear.
Thank you.
If you walk up to me, black coffee, I'm going to start not talking to you because I'm sick of it. So treat the people in your life and in your periphery as people. We appreciate it. We really do.
I love that. We do. And so everyone knows this, that does go to Eat Marketplace. And if you haven't been, I'm just going to drop this. You need to go. It's in Old Town Temecula.
Or hello, you're welcome in Pasadena.
That's right. Hello. But my staff does know if you're on your phone and you come up and you're talking to someone, they get to very politely say to you, I'm so happy to help you as soon as you're finished with your conversation. And they will wait for you to be done with your conversation and put your phone down. And that is something that's really fair because our human interaction is everything. We owe that to one another.
With all due respect, it's kind of disrespectful to the person you're on the phone with.
Oh,
Just
well, there you
saying.
go. It's both ways.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
my
thank
goodness.
you for having me.
Oh, my
Tee.
Teehee.
Letting me get on my soapbox.
Well, you know what? That was a really profound soapbox to get on.
Do you want my cold take? My last cold take?
Oh, go for it.
Order your iced flat white and don't let a barista bully you. It's the proportions, okay? If you know what I'm talking about, this is special and this is for you. Order it. And if they bully you, bully them back. That's the only time I'll say bully your barista back, because that's my drink.
And I'm going to bully my way right out of this podcast. Hey, every meal shared is a conversation started. And in this case, every cup of coffee is an inspirational reason to have a conversation, because the caffeine just gets you going. I love being here, and I'm so honored that you share this space at the table with me. This is Chef Leah with
Gigi, thanks for listening to me today.
And we'll see you next time at the table.
Ciao.
Every meal shared is a conversation started. I want to thank our guest today, and I really want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. It means a lot to all of us. You can find us on Instagram at The Table with Leah, and anywhere you listen to your podcast. At the Table is produced by the very mighty Studio 215. Programming manager, Nate Marriott, our awesome studio manager, Brian Umali, and the gorgeous show producer, Miss Mari Fuentes. Thanks for being here.